Welcome back, guys, to TGR, That's Gaming Robo. My name's Rob, and welcome back to my channel. Guys, what we have for you here today, we have 100 years into the future. Championship Manager 0102, 100 years later. Rather than going into a big spiel about this, I'd much rather just get straight into it, showing you guys how football has happened on Championship Manager 0102, 100 years later on. Let's have a look, shall we? So first of all, we're going to go straight into the conference. I'm purposely picking the conference. I'm going to go from the conference to Division 3, Division 2, Division 1, and then finally we're going to hit the Premier League. Okay. So first of all, Charlton is one of the big names that I see in the Conference League. Looking at this, I mean, Torquay United, my team, they're in the Conference League. Looking at the history, just the recent history, I can see Manchester United, 2097, they won the Conference Championship. Oh my God, that's truly mind-boggling. It really is. Here's the third division, guys. So first of all, Sunderland are up there. I can see. Rather than the big names, I'll go after the little names to begin with here. Kingstonian Salisbury. They're in Division 3. Tottenham Hotspurs. Leicester, West Ham, Man United fighting to make sure they don't hit relegation from the third division. I mean, looking at it here, Kings Lynn have won the title in the third division. Salisbury's won it and obviously come back down. And United were runners-up in 99. Now they're fighting to make sure they don't get relegated back down to the Conference League. That's ridiculous. Good old second division now. So we can see Coventry are in top spot for the second division for Championship Manager 0102. But Moor Green is second place. Exeter, my fierce rivals, they're in Division 2. I mean, biggest names in here is little names, to be fair with you. Apart from Everton, they're in 13th place in the second division. Then you look at Derby, you look at Villa, Bolton. You know, they're big names. I mean, especially in this game. I mean, if you forget about what it's like now on this game, they are big names, and they're down the bottom here. That's crazy to see that. Have a look at the first division. Straight away on it. Second division in the first division. But then I see Chelsea in third. Northwich Victoria. Blackburn. Austin United. Now these are, once again, it's ridiculous to see this, but I expect, obviously, it's been 100 years on this game. QPR. Then you've got the likes of Southampton, Watford, Dover. Dover Athletic are in this league. Blackpool, Newcastle United and Wolves are in the relegation zone in the first division with Hampton and Richmond. Don't need to say anything else about that, really. I mean, you can see Dulwich and Chelsea's won this first division title. Cambridge, Kings Lynn again, Burnley, Burscough, Cheltenham. It's big names and little names. Do you know what I mean? We're going to start at the bottom. I want to start at the bottom. And I see straight away Liverpool, who are the Premiership champions for the first time in 30 years. 19th in the Premier Division. 19th. It's crazy. Cambridge United and Brentford also occupy the relegation zone spots for the English Premier League. Then you look at the likes of Burton Albion are up there. Dulwich still up there. Then you've got the likes of Harrow Borough, Macclesfield, Fisher. And obviously, top of the table at this moment in time is Arsenal, but Middlesbrough and Huddersfield are right behind them. Looking at the history, if we go back past 100 years, You see the likes of Man United domination. It stopped quite abruptly, and it went to the Merseyside sides. That's correct. That's good to say that. And obviously Sunderland, Middlesbrough, Chelsea, Leeds, Everton, Leeds, Chelsea, Middlesbrough. Then you go to Leicester, then Bolton and Millwall. Then Bournemouth. Leeds, they should have won it with the team that they had back in 01 and 02. They finally won it on here, 2040. Leyton Orient, champions of the Premier League. Wycombe Wanderers, Sheffield United. Still got 50 years to go through this. I mean, Salisbury, champions. Sheffield Wednesday and United have been champions. Middlesbrough, Fulham, Brighton, Villa, Charlton, Lincoln. Sorry if I'm saying some of these teams way too quickly, but I mean, you look at the names and you think, bloody hell, how have they won the title? Norwich, Wolves again, Middlesbrough again. And obviously Crystal Palace is last year's winners. Where is Crystal Palace saying that? They're 9th. So they're nowhere near the top of the Premiership. I mean, that's crazy to see that, isn't it? I mean, you look at the Premier League, you can't help but think the top 6 of English Premier League football. When you see the top 6 on here is now really just one of those top 6, which is Arsenal, 100 years later. Is that a sign of things to come? You never know. If we go into the Charity Shield, I mean, for a lot of people, it probably doesn't mean anything, to be fair. I mean, there's no real... I mean, apart from the teams I've mentioned and who's won the Premier League, there's no real teams that I haven't seen that's won the Premier League that's won this, apart from Ipswich. They've won the Charity Shield here, but I've never seen them win the Premier League. Then we've got the Cup, otherwise known as the Carabao Cup. And it says here, Margate, who are in Division 2, 10th place, will face Liverpool, 19th place, in the Carabao Cup final. So Northwich Victoria, one of the most notable teams I can see on here, along with Cheltenham and Fisher Athletic. It's hard to fathom. It really, really is. Let's have a look at the FA Cup. FA Cup. This is what we want to see right now. So Rochdale, big team that I can see that's won this, even though they're not a big team, but they have not won the Premier League. I mean, where is Rochdale now? They're in Division 3. Division 3. I mean, what year did they win the FA Cup? 2092. So if we go back and look at their competition, Domestics League. So they were in the first division when they won the FA Cup. It's crazy. So what we're going to do, guys, we're going to look across the other tournaments to see how they have panned out. Before I go into the Olympics, World Club Cup, European Champions League, UEFA Cup on here as it's supposed. We're going to go through the other leagues, see how the other countries' leagues has on. Already, I can see Avarta. Now, I only know this because they are not the biggest team in the Danish league, of course. But with them winning the Danish Premier League, that's something big to shout out about for them. I mean, especially if you look at it, I mean, it goes back to 2006 and 7, where it shows that they were in the second division, which kind of makes me think, well, hang on a minute, that must mean they were below the second division when the game started. Copenhagen's still there, Brøndby is still there, so yeah, the big teams are still there, but they're not as dominating as they once were. And we'll have a look at the French league. One name comes to mind already, Bordeaux. They seem to have won it a fair few times. I mean, looking at this team, competitions, They were quite a fair way down at one point, and then they managed to capture the French division title for the first time on this game in 2077-78 season. I mean, if we look at the other teams, where's the other big teams? There's no other big teams. Pacey Sur Ura. Never heard of them. Le Mans, that's the team of Nice. I've heard of them. I mean, this is going back over 50 years at the moment. And Le Mans, Cannes, Rennes, Monaco, 2038. So it's nearly 70 years since a team other than Bordeaux, there's a big team in nowadays. Won French league. That's crazy. German league. Now, remember in the Football Manager series, Bayern Munich were dominating the German league. If you remember the last video we did 40 years later for CM 0102, it's not been all Bayern Munich. As you can see here, we're looking at Werder Bremen, Hertha Berlin, Union Berlin, HSV, Ulm. I mean to click on that one then. Never heard of Arlen or Oberhausen. Look, I mean, that's crazy. It really is crazy. Holland. We'll look at Holland, the Dutch league. Already, you could say it was a bit like the 40 years later video. The big teams in Holland are still the big teams. Like your Ajax, your Feyenoord, your PSV, William II. So those teams are still dominating the Dutch league in Premier Division. I mean, yeah, Feyenoord, Utrecht. It's mostly Ajax. A bit of PSV as well. So it still looks like it's the main two teams in Holland that is really contending for the title. Then we look at Serie A. Now, before I even look at their history, I can't even see Juventus. I have to know where they are before I look at the history. Lazio are in the second division. Juventus, 15th in Serie A. So we'll go to the history. Fiorentina, Inter Milan, Napoli and Parma. They're the big teams I can see already. That's won the Serie A title over the last 20 years. Roma, Udinese, AC Milan in 2072. So, apart from Chievo, it's still really the big teams in the Italian football. If you take out Lazio and Juventus, with them two being in Serie A, it's still the usual teams that you think, okay, they're good. Still those teams that's winning Serie A. I'm going to go into the Portuguese league already. Sporting Lisbon. They are 16 points clear of Boavista. And ironically enough, Sporting Lisbon were runners-up last season. But, Sporting's name up there a few times. So is Aves, Rio Avenue, France. So yes, in Portugal, it does look like it is Sporting Lisbon and other little teams. Maritimo, if you remember rightly, they won the Portuguese league, and if I recall rightly, they won the Champions League as well. It's crazy to see that. Scottish League. Scottish. And if we look right here, so going back nearly 40 years, Dundee, Clyde, St Mirren, Arbroath, Kilmarnock, Hearts, Livingston. Livingston had a few successful wins of their Premier Division. So, I'm looking at the division here. There's no Rangers or Celtic. Division 1, Celtic are in 6th place. Division 2, Rangers are in 4th place. So the Scottish League is no longer run by Glasgow. No. It is run by the other teams in the Scottish football now. Lastly, we're going to look at Spanish football. La Liga, and already Valladolid is top of La Liga. If we look at their history, so you got Celta Vigo, Palmas, Sevilla, Atletico Madrid, Oviedo, Barcelona in 2096. So 7 years since the last time Barcelona had won the title. Then you go to Villarreal and Valencia, Rio, Sporting Gijon. I'm looking to see if I can see Real Madrid, Zaragoza. Real Madrid, 2072 was the last time they'd won La Liga, 31 years ago. Crazy. So we're going to look at the World Championships. Already, Cambridge United are in the World Club Cup Championships. Okay, I see crazy names on here already. So just looking at the recent history, you've got Fiorentina, Independiente, Portsmouth in the final. Northampton won it in 2081, beating Santos in the final. Arsenal, you'd expect them, because even though they've never won the tournament, you'd expect them to win it if they're in there. Hearts beating Northampton. Kievo. Wolves did it as well. Ajax beating Air Defence. Air Defence, where the hell are you guys in Iraq? Brentford winning the title here as well. Go down. Is it going to get any crazier? Fiorentina, Leicester, Chelsea, Hearts of Oak, Ghana. Okay. Roma, Vasco da Gama. And yeah, so I mean the other teams, Ipswich are in the finalists there. Once again, it looks like it's the regular teams that sort of winning it up until quite recently with that. Now the Intercontinental Cup, otherwise known as the European Super Cup, and Cambridge lost to Vasco da Gama in the final. 2 years on the trot, Cambridge have become runners-up. Middlesbrough's won the title. Ajax, Svendborg, they won it a few years on the bounce. Kievo, Brighton, Grimsby and Middlesbrough have won the Intercontinental Cup. Hearts, Arsenal. Crazy. So we're going to go to the Super Cup. Burnley beat Cambridge in the final. Roma beat Cambridge in the final the season before that as well. Cambridge aren't doing very good in the European Cups finals, are they? Okay, so you've got Brentford that's done it a couple of seasons, so is Middlesbrough. Wolves, Lubeck won it as well. Right, next thing we need to see is the UEFA Cup before we see Champions League. Burnley beat Dulwich in the final last season. Celtic beat Varzim. Where's Varzim? In Portugal. HSV, Wolves, Lubeck, SV, Stuttgarter, Kilmarnock were in the final, and St Mirren, and Derby, Coventry even as well. Okay, so now we're here to see the Champions League. So 2 years on the bounce, Cambridge has beaten Ajax and Leeds respectively in the Champions League. Only beating Livingston, Varta done it, Middlesbrough a couple of times, Kings Lynn beating Carlisle in the final. Carlisle lost 2 finals in a row. Svendborg, 3 years on the bounce. Kievo, Oberhausen, Sporting Gijon, Parma, Milan, Fiorentina, Juventus at 2068. Maritimo, 2038. Okay, so what we're going to do now, guys, we're going to have a look at the Olympics. Then we'll have a look at the Euros and the World Cup. And lastly, we'll finish off with the FIFA rankings. So the Olympics. Let's see. Well, England hasn't hosted it, that's for sure. And England hasn't won it, that's for sure. So England's never been runners-up, and they've never bronze either. So the countries do look near enough the same teams that you would think would win it, but it looks like Holland are dominating it, to be fair with you. Australia coming second two times on the bounce. Euro Championships. So you looking at the host nations, England hasn't hosted it. And looking at the runners-up, we've not come runners-up, but Scotland has. But England did win the Euro Championships in 2096, beating Holland at Holland's home ground. Apart from that, Portugal seems to be a big team in the Euros. Yugoslavia. And Scotland's won it in 2084 as well. World Cup. Lastly, Uruguay, runners-up 3 times on the bounce. Okay, so looking at it here, it means South Africa, Turkey, and South Korea. All little countries have won the World Cup. Although those 3 little countries have won the World Cup when you think the likes of Brazil, Germany, Argentina, Italy, and so on. After that, Holland, Italy, and Argentina did win the World Cup, followed by Spain, France, Portugal's done it. Russia won it in 2090. It went to France, Portugal, as well as Holland. I mean, the only time England's actually hosted any of these tournaments is 2086, when Portugal beat Ukraine in the final. Okay, guys, like I said, the last thing that I will be showing you is the FIFA World Rankings. So, okay, I mean, you've got Holland, Sweden, and Denmark operating the top 3 places in football. England's in 8th place, France in 11th, Panama in 16th. I mean, you look at these countries, it's crazy to see that. It really, really is. Scotland's in 38th. There's no big countries in that. Suppose you want to class Bosnia-Herzegovina, and she's a bigger country than the likes of Panama, without being disrespectful. Czech Republic, Nigeria, USA, I class them as a bigger country. Spain in 97th place. Italy are behind Netherlands, Antilles, as well as San Marino. Oh, I don't even recall seeing Germany. Ukraine, Wales, Turkey. We're nearly at the end of this list. I don't actually recall seeing Germany. It must be. Where the hell are Germany? Where is Germany? So what, guys? I have not been able to see Germany anywhere in this list. If you have come across Germany in this video whilst we've been running through this list, please leave a comment below. Let me know what position they were in. Oh, there we go, 136. Ridiculous. Okay, guys, but this is Championship Manager 0102, 100 years later. I hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, smash a like on the video. And if you are new to the channel, TGR, that's Gaming Robo, please hit that subscribe button and make sure you hit the notification bell, okay? Apart from that, guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video with me today. Tomorrow, on Monday, it's going to be my wedding anniversary with my wife, so there will be a video. It will be uploaded tomorrow, but I won't be around to take any comments and what have you. So I do apologise for that in advance. I will be able to look at any comments or any suggestions from the other videos from Tuesday onwards, but there will be a video on there for you guys tomorrow to see. All right. But apart from that, guys, I hope you've enjoyed it. And I look forward to seeing you soon in the next video at TGR. That's Gaming Robo. Thanks very much for your time. Take care.